Welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Now, here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to a section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not show up. So if you are not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of a guy that's on the show, Jeff Riley. He got that for me at Smart Men Flying. I want to give him props whenever I say that. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. Excuse me. Be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. By the way, you can make comments or questions during a live stream. So, like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that whenever either myself or Sparky comes in, you'll be notified. And also share the videos, and comments also help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which you'll see the join sign at the on the YouTube side. And it just starts at $4.99 a month. Now there's 3 tiers that are, there's 2 above that, but the starting price is just $4.99 a month, which is 17 cents, less than 17 cents a day. And you're getting someone like Sparky and other people, John Jordan, Dan Winship, and others come in, and they have decades of experience building, flying model airplanes. Now, you also can use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, to make your donations. You can only use the super chat donation feature. That's, again, during the live stream shows. And like I said earlier, every Monday and Friday, right? And your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. Now, Sparky does a lot of things out of pocket up front and waits for the donations to reimburse them. So please support us. We really need your help. And I've seen the support has been lagging lately. So please, if you have any extra money you can throw our way, we really would appreciate it. I know Sparky would. Now, with your memberships, you'll get special badges I can see in the YouTube chat. Plus, you get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can actually ask him questions. He's there to answer questions. Sparky is always willing to give questions. And when Sparky answers, he doesn't say this is the only way, this is what works for him. So, take advantage of that. It's great information. And then you also, now if you want, you can get in touch with me. This is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm only in here twice a week, Monday and Friday. So if you have a comment or a question, please go to my YouTube account, which is Flying Control Line Stunt. Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there, even if they're repeated. and go to the 2019 AMA National Championship video that Sparky shot of me flying his beautiful plane, the Junar XL. And if you want, you can comment on the video as well. I appreciate that as well. So please do that. And one last thing, actually two last things. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link at Stunthangar Forum right now. I have two monitors, so bear with me. And let me see here. We go to Stunthangar Forum. Go there. Okay, and hit post. Great, got that out of the way. Now I'm going to go to YouTube, Sparky's channel. Did I do this? Yeah, okay, I'm going to Sparky's channel. And let me go to the, what I call the control panel. My computer is running a little bit slow. I hope it doesn't cause us a problem. All right, here's my chance to see what's going on. Looks like it's working. And let's see, we have 10 viewers. Boy, it's the first time in a long time there's no one in the chat box. I hope the chat box is working. But let me, I gotta fix one other thing here. I gotta edit, let me fix this. And then hopefully we have a really good show. Fix that, save that, great. All right, so we have 1 like so far. We have 11 views and 1 like. So please, if you are watching, just take a moment to hit the like button. That really helps the analytics of the program. And you know, the motivation, just to understand, is not to like just to like. It's also to get so that when people go to their home feed, that this might be one of their recommended views on the right side of their home feed. I mean, it might show up because of the analytics. They might see that they are into, I don't know, model aviation or something. And if we get enough likes, enough subscribers, this would be a recommended view. And you know what? Someone might discover that they really like the show, and they might be intrigued because they did this maybe a long time ago when they were a kid. We have a lot of retreads. I'm a retread. I got back into this 19 years ago. So it could happen. And looks like John, I believe John, I see a John, and John Miller.
Yeah, it's John Tate, if you can hear me.
Yes, John Tate. How are you doing? I think I met you at Brodax in 2016.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is my first time on here.
I know. I appreciate you coming in, John. That is awesome. I was telling Carl, I was talking to him on the phone. I said, I surely hope a new person comes in because it gives the show a lift. So those of you that are listening, if you don't think we need you, we need you. It's a new person. It just gives the show a lift. So I really appreciate you coming in, John.
All right, thank you.
And I have John Miller. And do you guys know each other? Have you guys met? This is John Miller and this is John Tate. You know each other?
Might have a long time ago. I haven't done anything in a couple of years, so yeah.
Yeah, me neither, John.
Well, you went to a contest a couple weekends
ago. I went
ago.
to a contest here this month, yeah.
You went to the Vegas Stunt Challenge, and we both wasn't prepared. And we went, but we still went. So we supported.
Had a great time, too.
You know, I bet you guys might have crossed paths because when I went to Brodax, John Tate, you was there, and John Miller, you was there also. But, you know, I was there, and I didn't meet Lynn Burrell, which is just unbelievable that I didn't meet Lynn Burrell, and because we was there at the same time, too. So,
well, John Tate, we probably have met.
Yeah, we probably met at Brodax, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was at Brodax a couple times. So,
yeah, I tried to make
anyway,
a bunch
good to meet
of
you
them.
now.
Yeah, but my work kept me from going to several of them, so I had to go to work.
Yeah.
oh, I understand that. I understand that. Now, John Tate, did you you obviously fly control line? You was there at Brodax, but what do you like to do? Is it anything particular?
I like to tinker. Well, I had several guys with me. We like to tinker with the glow motors, and we would tune them for stunt and see what we could do. Then my buddies passed away, Willis Swindell and Mike Garman.
Oh,
And
sorry
you know,
about
since
that.
I'm an old retired electronics guy now, I like started playing with electric motors. And I've gotten several guys here in Norfolk and Williamsburg in their area to start playing with electrics, As we go out and fly, and they would spend 10 minutes cleaning the airplane, getting all the castor oil off, and I just blow on mine and put it back in the car. I said, "See y'all later."
Well, you know what? I'm starting my journey in flying electric, and today was my first day that actually put up a 5-minute and 30-second flight.
All right.
And
you still have an airplane?
I still have an airplane. It didn't burn up. It didn't short out, smoke, and start a fire. So,
Speaking about cleaning up airplanes, I was there once at the Northwest Regionals, and Paul Walker finished a flight and he's getting ready to put his airplane up. Brought his plane over to the pits and set it down, took a paper towel off the roll, then folded it in half, tore that in half, then folded it in half again, tore that in half, then folded that in half again. So he had 1/8 of a paper towel. Pulled that out and he just wiped back by the end of his pipe, and that was it.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, those
Paul has
two
a
pipes are a little bit cleaner.
sense of humor.
They run better than the two pipes are cleaner than the regular side exhaust, or especially a tongue muffler. Tongue muffler just puts oil all over the place.
Yes.
It's an equal opportunity mudslinger.
Yes, absolutely. So, John, have you made any John Miller? Have you made any progress on your SV11?
No, I'm being lazy. Here's the deal. On Wednesday, they had an impound auction here, and I've been wanting to get a pickup truck. So on Tuesday, I went over and looked there. There was this real nice gray Dodge Ram there. Dang, it looked pretty good. So I figured, well, what the heck? So I figured, well, okay, what might the bid be for that from the competing bidders for, on an impound auction?
Right.
So I determined that, well, I wasn't going to pay any more than $700 for it, So I actually made a bid for like $650.55, and so the next day I get a call and I won the auction. Oh man, I was on Fat City, hog heaven,
That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, there's more to the story. Believe me, it gets worse from here. So I was tickled to death. Went down and I paid for it. Went out and had my paperwork and I went out to go. I was going to pick it up. I figured it looks so good I could just turn the key over and start it up, right?
Right.
So I get there. Well, I bid on the wrong one. The one I bid on was a 1995 Dodge Ram, and the dash was all tore up. They didn't have a key for it. Actually, though, in other respects, it wasn't that bad. It's 6-cylinder V6. And so I thought, well, okay, I paid less than $700 for it. Still got it cheap enough that I could put a few bucks in it. So I've been spending the last several days trying to get it arranged up to see if I can get a new dash put in it, get a key made, it's all that kind of stuff. So that's where my actions have been.
Okay, I understand. Hey, Howard.
Hey, Howard.
Howard Russ, how you doing?
Hi.
Howard Russ, do you know John Tate?
Virginia?
Yeah, I met him years ago. My flying buddy was Willis Swindell.
Yeah.
And so y'all guys were in a combat, and Willis just used me as a racing pilot. He didn't let me fly combat, So, one guy, I think it was a mutual friend, Pat Carroll. I think he passed away. He, stuff like that. Been many years ago since you were over here on the East Coast.
Yeah. That's the Ringo and the Doc and people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to be having one big contest upstairs because they've been too many of us leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta hear Bob Hunt talk about Bob Gieske in heaven. You gotta remind me to ask him to tell that story again. It's a joke, but it's funny. And in the chat box, we have James Dorian. I might have butchered your name. Forgive me, James. He says, hi, Charles. Well, hi, James. You're all alone out there. I wonder what's going on with the chat box, but I see that it works. So thank you for coming in, James. I appreciate it. So do you have anything on the bench, or are you flying anything, John Tate?
I say I still experiment with electrics, and I built a Vector 40 for the boy that's going to college that flies at Brodax. His grandfather and John Brodak were best friends, and
oh wow!
And the boy was from down here in Chesapeake, and they just told us to get together. And he started out as a junior. It took him about 3 years. We got him where he was the best place in junior, and then the next year he was like the only senior, so they gave him a trophy for 2 years ago. Gave him the best trophy for the best senior because he was the only senior there. But he's in college now. And he don't have time to build or anything. So.
Oh, I bet.
So we put up a couple of flights this past fall before we went to school. He's due to be home next week for Thanksgiving, and he said if he gets free time, he call me up and we'll go put up a flight on that.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
But
I had a Vector 40. It was Glow, and that was a pretty good flying plane.
Yeah, I've had 4 or 5 of them. Since I was a dealer, I would get them for the guys in my club. And I had one, I think I got second in advance at Brodax.
Wow.
And, I remember Samantha Hines crashed the plane, and I was there, and I had the one that I won the year, got second place the year before. And I tried to give it to her, but her dad maybe, he wanted to pay me for it. And I think she's still playing with it a little bit from time to time. I just want to give her something to fly with, so let her have that. I still got a couple of other ones that, I got the first one I converted to electric in 2010. I still got that one, and I got another one, and so I just started. I found a Banshee kit sitting in the garage I've had for 20 years, and I said I'm gonna make a Miss BJ out of that. So I laid the wing up the other day, so just something to play with.
Very good. I had a Banshee when I just got back into the hobby about 19 years ago. I think the first plane I flew back was the Banshee. My cousin gave me his, and I used that, and that was a pretty good flying plane.
Yeah, I flown a few, and I said, well, I might as well build that. So we're going to have that put together, and I'm going to flip a coin. I'm going to put a glow motor in it, or we're going to make it electric. So I'll see what happens when I get on the fuselage. Right now, I'm just building the wing and the stab and stuff like that.
Do you move your wing forward on those Banshees?
That's when you shorten the nose 1.5 inches, so you don't have to move the wing on the Miss BJ plans. And I'm probably going to lengthen the tail about 2 inches.
Well, then move the wing forward 2 inches, and you'll be there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
That airplane flying behind me, by the way, that's at Brodax.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed the trees back there. Let's get an intermediate circle.
Well, it's wherever they put me. It wasn't intermediate that day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, that'd be good.
Hey, Mike Monkey, thanks for coming in.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, what are you drinking there, Mike?
A milkshake.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had something good in it or not.
Well, it's called a Colorado Bulldog. It's like a milkshake, but better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not it's an adult milkshake.
There you go.
Yeah. How you doing, John? Good to see you.
Yeah, doing good. It's my first time I tried this. Somebody said I ought to try it.
Well, good.
watch all the arguments and stuff. You know?
Is that, I was listening on YouTube, but I missed part of what you were saying. Were you talking about Garrett Sisk?
Yeah, about Garrett. So Garrett, he's making straight A's up in college, and you know, his mom nicknamed her as a helicopter because she hovers over him all the time, and when he's home, he don't get a chance to build or anything. So most of the time he's going to college, and when he was home last summer, he was working for a professor, going around getting data and all this stuff. So you know, we're talking about the latest vector back together with him, and I put, you know, kit and all that kind of stuff for the college is going to on that, on the decals and stuff. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is a fine young man. I always enjoyed being around him at Brodax, and I thought it was really cool, you know, that he did scale and he did stunt. He was into all kinds of different stuff, and he was just as nice and respectful a young man as you'd ever meet. And I only hope that when Samuel's his age, he's just as nice as Garrett is, because he's a nice kid. Garrett's a good kid, man. I really enjoyed being around him.
Yeah, I was lucky they put him up with me because he lives in the same area I do. So I was lucky. So his grandfather and John Brodak grew up together, and they come out to watch one day, and he asked Garrett where he's from, told him he was down here East Coast Virginia. And he went and drug him over to me and says, "Teach this boy how to fly." I went, "No problem." You know, so. Yeah,
well, he definitely had the fire for it and the enthusiasm, because he dabbled in a little bit of everything, and he was, you know, pretty good at everything too. So, yeah. And I'm glad to hear he's doing good in college. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's doing good.
Yeah.
So what did you build in there, Mike? I saw your video where y'all was there in Las Vegas. You know?
Well, yeah, I know you're out there lurking all the time and watching our stuff. I'm not building anything currently. I've got an Intrepid on the board that I've done a little bit of work on for next year's Nats. I'm going to take a break from combat next year and try to fly advanced stunt at the Nats next year. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, what I'm working on the table back there is Samuel's Segway. He ate pavement on it again for the 4th time, and it's a Segway 9-bot. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but it's the things the kids stand up on, and they got knee steering on them and you know, all that stuff. But anyway, he wrecked it again. He fell off it again, and he broke it pretty bad. So I'm trying to take it apart and figure out what parts I gotta have for it to get him fixed up again. I think he's out there doing Evel Knievel stuff when I'm not watching, when I'm not out there, because like I said, this is the 4th time he's crashed it, and he actually broke it really bad this time. But they don't make these things easy to take apart and fix. You know, they don't want you fixing them. They want you to send them in and get them done there. I did the ultimate sin. Yeah, well, I did the ultimate sin, man. I cut all the security tabs off to take the battery out of it. And, you know, the big warning labels that say, if you cut this tab and remove this battery, you avoided the warranty and all that stuff. Ooh, I'm scared, you know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm actually going to turn my mic off and get back to, I've almost got it apart to where I got the broken part out, so I can figure out what I got to order. So I'm going to shut my mic off and just work on that. I'll be listening, and I'll join in a little bit. I do want to talk to Howard. I got a package from Howard, so like Christmas, I'll open that up when I come back. I got that. I'm pretty sure I know what's in there. I'm pretty sure I know what's in there, but I haven't opened it yet. So
we'll open it up and let's see.
Well, I will. I gotta get back on this thing for a minute, but I'll open this. Did you get a package from me today?
No.
You didn't. Okay. No. It should be there today or tomorrow. You should have it.
Ooh, yeah. Black raspberry.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd be having black raspberry jam with your toast tomorrow, but maybe it'll come early enough in the morning. But I'll be back and chat with y'all in a little bit. I got to get a little headway on this, so I'm going to mute out, and you guys continue.
Thank you, Mike. Gary Sinclair says, hi, I'm trying to get in, but having difficulty with the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know how that is, Gary. Sometimes that happens to the best of us.
Never happens to me. So what does that say about me?
Well, you live by yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think Gary, he has his wife, and I see some other gentlemen walking around. So, and I have like 3 teenagers and my wife.
Yeah,
So
but
sometimes-
you said it happens to the best of us. It doesn't happen to me.
Oh. John, you're one of the best of us.
Am I?
Yes,
That
absolutely.
Festivus for the rest of us? You remember that?
You're definitely, yes, I remember that. Yes, you're definitely in that category. Absolutely.
All right.
Well, John Tate and John Miller and Mike and Howard, well, Howard be bowed out. But anyways, today, my objective with my SV11, that's why I asked you how yours is doing. His, by the way, John Tate, he's building a SV11 Glow, and I'm building the same SV11, but mine's electric. And we both couldn't get them done in time for the contest. But John's been distracted, and I just been working on mine. So I actually took mine out to the flying field today. Now, prior to today, all I had to show for all my time and energy and effort, sweat, blood, and tears was just 2 flights of a minute. That's all I had. But today, I went out there with the goal of flying a minute and 20 seconds. So I have a little bit more time, and I was just trying to establish, not trying, because I established a lap time that was reasonable. Before, I was flying about 4.99 seconds per lap. And today, we slowed it down, and so I got it down to 5.2 seconds per lap, courtesy of my friend Joe Mata with the stopwatch. And so that felt good. And then, so then I opened up the flight time to 5 minutes and 30 seconds today and flew it. Now we actually have a new, today was really a good day. I feel so fortunate and blessed because where I fly at, they've been too much flooding. Some of the areas in the grass are low areas, and it collects the water and it drains there. And it drains it so much that when they have these big lawnmowers, they get stuck. So as a result, they're waiting for the field to dry out. But we've been having foggy mornings, a lot of moisture in the air. I don't know when that field's going to dry out. So I was telling this gentleman who actually runs the baseball league there, and he goes, well, he had promised me about 4 or 5 months ago I could have keys to these baseball diamonds, which are always cut, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So he gave me the keys to the kingdom. And so we went into a baseball diamond, and the grass was cut, and we flew in there. So that was a pleasant surprise. Plus, I have keys now to the bathrooms.
All right.
Oh, that's important.
At 64 years old, that becomes even more important than when you was a teenager, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
So
it's been a really good day.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. So how long a lines are you using?
I was using 64 feet eyelet to eyelet
Okay.
on a 12.6 APC prop.
All right.
And I think I had the RPM somewhere around 9,100 RPMs.
Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got one about a 50 powered size airplane, and I'm running a 12.6 on it, and just goofing off with that. And I finally got them down to like 5.3.5. I didn't like the overheads. I played with the lead out angles and all that. And I finally went back to like 5.2, 5.25, and I like that, and I'm saying I'm running an active timer. I think I was the first guy in the States to try to control line timer out of Brazil. Was it Rogero Ferrari, however you pronounce his name?
Yes.
And he was a great guy to work with. Because the first one I used, there was a couple of problems with it, and I think Fred Underwood tried it on the West Coast. I found out he was got it right after me. We both had the same problems, and then we got messages, sent them back to Brazil, and he made changes, because we had the first versions, and no charge, and he sent me a newer version. Try that one.
Wow.
I said, so we'd go out and experiment and feed him data back. And I put a YouTube video of I think the third version, where the thing actually would accelerate going up and it would decelerate going down, and let him know, hey, what I was doing. He's going like, thanks for doing it. So now I got like 3 different versions of it. And I do like you. I'll go out, I do a 1-minute flight just to try to get a lap time for him to do maneuvers or anything.
Right.
And then I'll try to climb at a 45-degree angle just to see if it's accelerating the way I want it and stuff like that. And like I say, it takes several trips out to the field before you finally go ahead and run your
I know.
20 and 30-second flight.
I've been working on this for a while. I was asking Joe, how many hours did he think we've had invested in just the 2 1-minute flights? And we estimated at least 10 hours at the field. You know, we've gone there like 3 times, and sometimes we had no positive results, no flight, couldn't get it to run, couldn't program the timing or couldn't program the RPM, or just had problems, just the, new learning curves, brand new. Some of it was self-inflicted, some of it wasn't, and it's just trying to figure it out. But today was, if a bystander was to have been watching, they would have had the impression that we knew what we was doing.
You can fool 100% of the people 90% of the time,
Yeah. I was saying, I brought up some ESCs. Where originally started off, I was like the only guy in Virginia doing control line. It was electric. And I knew the RC guys were doing it, so I go to RC field, what I used to belong to back in the 80s. And they were doing it, and they're going like, where's your transmitter receiver? I said, I got this timer, and they're going like, get away. We don't know what you're doing. Stay away.
Yeah.
You're learning on your own, And exactly. A bunch of emails to other people across the country, and I found out they were experimenting like I was, and it took a while. So.
Yeah, so I have a KR governor in mind. So it's not an active timer. I really, I hope to get an active timer. I really do like the Fidiorti, or however you say it, just like I struggle with it. If I see the word, I can say it, but without seeing, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I can't even see it. I can't say after I see it. I tried the Keith Renical one, when he first started out. And the first one I got, it worked good. And the other 2, I couldn't get them to work. And I had a guy here on the East Coast, William Davis, who's on the western part of North Carolina. He decided that he was going to try them too. And he said he wound up getting like 1 out of 3 to work the way he wanted it,
Oh, okay.
And then I started reading about the guys in Brazil playing around, and that Rogero guy, I thought it was expensive, but it was still cheaper than everything else. So I said, I'll give you a shot. And he goes, you'll be the first one in the United States to get one. And he sent me all the instructions in English, and
You talk about the Fioretti?
Yeah, Fioretti.
Fioretti, that's right. Straighten us out, John Miller.
That's all right.
Oh, look who's coming in here. Looks like Phil is coming in. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil, long time no see.
He's got to put his ears in.
Yeah. 1 ear, 2 ears.
Yeah,
3
hey,
ears.
Phil,
Oh,
thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in.
Gosh, look at that.
Yeah, hello.
That's pretty. Hello there. I finally got, well, look who's there. My goodness.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Mr. Bailey's had quite a few conversations about electrics and stuff like that at contests and fly-ins and stuff like that over the last few years.
Finally got one working.
That's good.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Are you
much better?
Are you by chance going to Huntersville tomorrow for Trash Can Day?
Say what?
Are you going to Huntersville?
I didn't know
Huntersville.
anything about it.
Trash Can Day.
What is Trash Can Day?
Well, you put $10 in the trash can, everybody does, and then you take a model, you do a wing over, and whoever puts their model mostly in the trash can gets to keep all the money that's in the trash can. It's clean out day for the boys.
Well, I already gave everything I had that I would do something like that with away, but I can't fly yet anyway. They told me 2 more weeks, and I'm going to just go ahead and listen to them, because just once in my life, I figure I'll do what I'm told.
Something new.
I was almost headed that way tonight. I was going to head that way and get a cheap hotel and then spend the day and pick up Will Davis still has a whole bunch of stuff that I couldn't bring home from the Nats.
Yeah, I heard about that.
From a truck. And some of it's kind of important. I mean, he's got 2 Bob Hunt wings of mine
Yeah.
that I couldn't get home, and about 12 combat planes, and old Rusty's shoestring. I'd like to get that in here in the shop. I got Rusty's trusty shoestring.
Yeah, that's a prize to have right there.
And a few other things, but we didn't. I couldn't see. You know, it's 13 hours round trip for half a day of flying, and it's weekend before Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
couldn't get it done. But I'm going to meet Will sometime before Christmas. He's going to meet me in Sevierville, and we're going to transfer all that stuff, and I'll buy him.
I was going to say, if you come down, let me know, because I still want to get that ME 109 in that motor. But
It's here. It hasn't gone anywhere. I still have it here.
Didn't think it would, but anyway, we just we'll get there when we get there. I tell you what, it's a mess. This last 3 months has been about as rough as I've had. To not be sick, it's been a booger.
You getting anything built though?
I've got a ringmaster that I was hoping to be able to show tonight, but it didn't dry. So it's so damp around here that everything is still, nothing's drying. And so maybe next week. I mean, maybe Monday night, something like that. And then I've got a big ringmaster with a 46 on it. That's the next thing to be painted. Yeah. And then I finally given up on the Hombre's fuselage. I've cut into that thing and straightened it, put it back together and leave it set for a couple of weeks, and it becomes a pretzel again. I finally just took everything out of it, and I'm gonna build a new fuselage for that thing. Now, the one thing you're gonna love this. Am I talking too loud? The one thing about it that Tom don't know yet, it may end up being electric. I may have the first electric Hombre, because I don't want to do all that crutch and crap again. That 61 just don't mean that much to me.
Yeah.
Let me say hi to Angstrom and Brendan. Hey, Angstrom and Brendan, thanks for coming in, you guys.
Angstrom, stand up next to your dad. Go stand up next to your dad. He told me that you're almost as tall as him. Holy cow, boy. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, I'm getting there.
Make a
soon.
It's pretty scary.
Oh, my gosh.
How old is he?
Wow.
12?
12?
Yeah.
12?
Yeah. He's a year younger. He's a year younger than Sam is.
I sure hope you like pickup trucks, because they don't make sports cars in your size when you hit 16.
Well, Angstrom, do you know what being really, really tall in control line, what that's an advantage for?
Combat.
Two things, racing and combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It always was for me, because I could put the handle right there and be over top of everybody else's head. Oh, in racing, I've never flown combat. That's too fast for me.
Well, he enjoys. I think I told you before. We put on a electric motor on one of those little racing planes.
Wow,
Wonky, if you remember one of those.
Oh yeah.
From the first time we kind of got together, and he's thrown an electric motor on there, and we've got that thing, buzzing pretty fast with 4-second laps, and he just absolutely loves to get that out and just zip that around.
Well, actually, those planes came from John Tate. John Tate gave those to us at Brodax.
All right.
I'm pretty sure you did, John. You passed those off to Sam while we were there, and
you gave them to them, yeah.
Big John's giving away a bunch of them.
They came from Roy Phillip. His nickname was Mr. Ringmaster. He'd go to a contest with one ringmaster, fly an old time classic and pamphlet stunt, and beat everybody, go home with all trophies on one airplane. But he had to move out from where he lived in Carolina, and his son wanted him up in Ohio. So a couple of us went down and cleaned his place out, and he said, "Give everything away." And I went, No problem.
Well, when you talk to him, you can tell him that at least one of them's being used
Yeah.
by a young
Good.
man. So he'd be happy to hear that, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the airplanes.
All right, no problem. I just
I like that wild
one. That's all I did.
I like that
loves
wild
it.
paint
I
job.
mean, you know, he loves getting that thing out. He's always asking to get that thing out and zip it around and you know, fly fast. And we gave him the go. We gave him the go signal on it about a month ago to stun it and try a loop with it. So he got a loop in. It was a little iffy, but he got it.
Yeah, that's good.
I like the ringmaster. Where in the world did you come up with that paint scheme?
Yeah, this is something I worked on last year around this time. I just took all the scraps that I had and put it on here. So
It's great.
That's
Yeah.
pretty darn. You're very artistic. That's neat.
That almost looks like a German World War I camouflage pattern.
that's what somebody said. The razzle dazzle ships from World War I or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What does that plane weigh?
what's that?
What does that plane weigh?
No, I don't know. It's got a pretty solid fuselage to it and stuff. It's kind of old school. I took it off someone gave it to us at an event, but I mean it feels pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Pretty
about
neat looking. I like the paint job. That's neat.
I'm thinking about getting a ringmaster kit from Tom Dixon.
Are you serious?
That's a question I wanted to ask tonight for those that fly old time with it. That's got a foam wing, sheeted foam wing. How does that fit in with old time rules?
Well, we fly them around here. The guys are flying them around here. I've
Are
been
they?
having to compete with a fellow flying a Jameson Special with a foam wing. Oh, wait, that's Tom Dixon. And he's quite a good flyer. Tommy is like Tom Looper, Tom Dixon, both. And there are a few on here that know him well enough to they can back me up on this. Those guys could fly a brick.
Yeah,
I like your background. That is nice, John.
I thought I'd remind you.
Well, I haven't forgot. The plans are laying there. I look at them every once in a while. I just got to get a few more things finished. Out of 9 that I needed to do, I'm down to 6.
Cool. So I'm still in line, huh?
It's in line.
You ought to
It's in
see the
line.
one I'm working on now. I took the original Pathfinder 40, the first full body Pathfinder. So that was actually one that I actually designed. I mean, I was at home.
I've seen that airplane. Airplane you had at Advantage Stunt Champs.
Yeah, the red, white, and blue one.
Red, white, and blue one.
Yeah, well, that airplane, when I couldn't get my SV11 finished in time for the Vegas contest, I was going to fly my Legacy, and I went down to get it, and I'd hung it up off the floor because we had a little bit of flooding here, and so I hung it up on the floor. I didn't look up, but right above where I hung it is where the drain line for the air conditioner comes out. And I went and took it off there, and I said, "Whoa, that thing's heavy. I don't remember it being that heavy, you know." And then I looked at it. I heard the water sloshing inside the wing. And I thought, you know what? That plane's toast. You're not going to be able to fly it. So I got looking around. Any plane I had that was reasonably in decent condition, because that Legacy was ready to go when I put it up there. So anyway, the only one I had left was a Pathfinder 40, and that was a plane I took to the 95 Nationals. And it was relatively in shape and trimmed out and that. So I said, okay, well, I went and took it down, and I could hardly turn the prop over. So I loosened the engine up, and I had to patch some holes where the monocoque had split. Anyway, took it down there, couldn't get it running. Couldn't get the motor running. And I wasn't unhappy because I remembered that the last time I flew it, I was getting a little wing flex in it, and I didn't want to take a chance of folding the wings. So I did score running and enjoyed myself a lot there. I got to talk with a lot of people. No pressure, competition, kind of thing.
Yeah, I heard it was a fun time had by all.
Oh, it was. What came out of that experience was, though, I've been looking at that airplane, and I really like the looks of that airplane. It's got a fat fuselage like we're used to today. It's got a long, more slender, more graceful looking fuselage. What do you call it? And so I've got the plans for it. I'm going to go through it and make a couple internal changes. And I'm going to build one of those here in the near future as well. So I only got about 6 planes now in the queue.
I wish I could say that. I wrote up a list of the ones that I want to build and put them in order that I think I can build. If I live to be your age, I still won't finish it.
You know, that reminds me, I ordered a t-shirt today that says, "It's weird being as old as old people."
Like that.
I like that too. Hey,
Yeah.
Carl, thanks for coming in, buddy.
My daughter got me a t-shirt. My daughter and I both ride bicycles, my youngest daughter. And she sent me a t-shirt, says, I'll have to go get it. Something about where there's a hill, there's a way. A hill, Hill. Where there's a hill, there's a way.
I like that.
And another, and then the flip side of the shirt says, "Never trust an old man on a bicycle." So I was like, okay. Never underestimate an old man on a bicycle. Yeah.
I ordered a couple of t-shirts. Another one, I can't remember them all. I ordered 4 of them, but one of them says, "Built in the 40s, never restored, some original parts still working."
Like that.
Oh, I like that too.
I like that. I'd have to have it built in the 50s, but yeah, that's true.
That's what I would need too. I need it built in the 50s too.
So.
Well, I'm telling you, some of the parts sure hurt when they work now, though. Woo.
Well, yeah, but you know they're still working, sort of.
Yeah, it's darn shoulder. I'm telling you, if I ever get this thing fixed, I got the shoulder. I had the ablation, and my shoulder didn't hurt for 2 days. 2 days, I didn't have pain. Out of 3 months, I didn't have any pain at all. Then I had to go to physical therapy. I came home with my shoulder hurting, my neck hurting, my hand and arm going to sleep on me, and now sciatica's kicked up in my right hip down to my big toe. So I had to ask the physical therapist, is this really supposed to do me some good?
Yeah, really.
Gosh.
Well, if you didn't hurt, you wouldn't know how good it felt for it not to hurt, you know?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. When it stops hurting or when it just don't hurt so bad I can't stand it, I'm going to have to celebrate somehow. I don't know what, I'm going to dance a jig or what. I don't drink or I'd go get loaded, but well, I'm telling you, this thing has been a real mind blower.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your suffering, buddy.
Oh, it'll be all right. The good Lord leads you to it. He'll lead you through it. You just got to give him a chance.
There you go. Good
But
at it.
we'll get there. We'll get there. I got 4 new, really nice airplanes for next year and more on the way. So we'll be there.
Excellent.
We'll be there. I may not be kicking as high as I once did, but I'll still be kicking at it.
There you go.
The one thing about it,
you can always get on a chair to start, you know.
there you go. The one thing about it, one thing I always remember, one of the guys told me, so I may not be as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as ever was. And I said, well, that's fine, but I'm talking about flying a toy airplane. He says, well, the older I get, the better I used to be.
Yeah.
I said, now that I
Palmer
can relate
used to wear a t-shirt with that or a shirt with that on the back.
I think Tom Lay or somebody, one of the guys at VSC had that one year,
Yeah.
but I had forgotten about it. And then I saw that. But I was thinking about Tom the other day. I'm still hunting for that motor, that Johnson 35. And I'm looking through some stuff. I hadn't give up yet. If you talk to him, tell him I hadn't give up yet. But I was looking through some motors and I found some Tom Lay motors that I have. And I was looking at them and I said, I've got 3 airplanes coming that use these motors. I get these, if the planes turn out to be anything, this is what's going to go on them, just for whatever.
What's wrong with a Tom Lay motor?
No, I will never forget Tom Lay. I had talked to him 2 weeks before and asked him about building some motors for me. And I took him to VSC. And here comes this guy walking up that I was not at all what I expected I would never put that voice with that body. And here he comes walking up with a hat with a beanie on top, a propeller on top.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, I'm saying, is this for real? But as soon as he started talking, I knew who it was.
You didn't see the hat he had the little Nobler on it that went around?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one year too. But that was there the year you were there, I think. But anyway, he took my 60 and my 51, and a few weeks later I got it back in the mail, and still the best running 60 and 51 I've got. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't fly them much anymore. I never did fly the 60 much. And everybody's getting after me. Why don't you fly the big motors? They hurt my shoulder. I never realized that I had a bad shoulder until this episode of my shoulder. This get kicked up, but I've still got my new old timer for next year is a humongous with a Tiger 60 in it, and it's got John Tate will recognize one piece of the plane when he sees it. That was done. You will recognize the vent. Tommy looked at it and he says, "Is that?" I said, "Yes, it is." He says, "Oh Lord." So anyway, it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. Haven't flown it yet, but it's a good looking airplane. It's just done in it's blue fuselage, yellow wings, big roundels on it, and just markings. Tommy came up with the paint scheme. I have no idea if it's a scales job or what, but when Tommy first drew the plans, it's the paint scheme that he drew on the plans, and I just built it like he drew it. The only real difference for you guys out west, the only real difference between Tom Looper's plans to the humongous and the ones that the guy in Tucson drew. He's got the Pentastar. God, I can't think of his name.
Lou Woolgast.
Lou Woolgast. There you go. Lou drew one. Lou's rudder comes up to more of a point. Tommy's is more just a curve.
Okay.
And I don't know, but we both looked at each other when we saw. I ordered a set of Lou's plans, and I said, "That just don't look like I remember Ted Snow's airplane looking." So I got out my pictures and blew some of them up. That was a few years back when we were still doing film. And anyway, Lou's Ted Snow's airplane did have a more rounded rudder, but he did tell me that some of the early ones had the more pointed rudder. He also told me there were some that had an inverted engine that were cowled in, and I have plans to that from Ted Snow, signed by Ted Snow. So it does exist. Somebody was asking me about it, and I found them the other day. They do exist. I have them. But anyway, it's just whatever you enjoy. I mean, you know.
Right, whatever you enjoy.
There's a fellow used to be on here. I wish he'd come back that loves Fox 35s. And I used to rag him about Fox 35s because they're such an ornery engine. But if you look on several of my old timers downstairs, you'll find Fox 35s or Fox 59s. Because my old timers, I've got a T-shirt that I wear. Old timers do it with Foxes, and that's the end of that story. But anyway,
yeah. Let me say hi to Tryon. Hey, Tryon, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Tryon, good to see you, buddy.
Yes.
And Bob Whitley, I said your name correctly. He says I can't join you tonight, but hello to all. And he said that is one wild-looking ringmaster that Brendan is holding. Excuse me.
It is.
It is a wild-looking plane, but it's a pretty plane, Bob.
Bob, you Wascally Wabbit, I need to order some propellers from you.
Bob Whitley?
Is it Bob Whiteley down in Florida?
No, this is Bob Whitley in Canada.
Oh, okay. We got one in Florida.
you all asked the weight on this thing. I just weighed it in with the battery. It's right at 2 pounds. I don't know what a traditional Ringmaster weighs, but like
Anything below 28 is very competitive. That with electric, that'll probably be in the ballpark. Probably work fine.
Unfortunately, last time out, we had, I think we didn't have enough throw in the controls. And so, yeah, the loop went a little big and it dusted it into the ground. So we've tightened it up a little bit, got a little more throw in there. Hopefully we can get a flight in before winter shuts us down.
It might not be the throw, it might be the CG as well.
Yeah, check.
It could
Because
be.
if you go over like 20 degrees, even 25 degrees maximum on throw, it's probably more than enough. Way more than enough, I'd say.
Yeah.
If you have
It
your
don't
CG
take much
right.
throw on a Ringmaster if it's balanced right. That's for sure.
Did I see a gap between your elevator and your stabilizer? Big air gap?
Yeah, there's a gap, but we put tape over it, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, well, you must put clear tape, so.
Yeah, we got clear tape in there. So I remember watching when I first kind of got into the hobby, Pete Kleps that gave me a Wendy video, and he kind of showed like, you know, the top 5 things that you put into it that you're really. He talked a lot about CG, the handle, and the tape trick on the there on the tail. So
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you might want to check where your CG is. You know, you want it to be like between 21 and 19, somewhere in there, percentage of your airfoil back from the front.
all right.
I'm telling you what, these guys' workshops put me in awe. Plenty of room to walk. Everything's clean and neat. That's just ridiculous.
That's not the bigger picture in here if you're talking about us at all. It may
Yours
look like
yours and Howard's both look like, well, everybody keeps telling me I'm talking too loud. Yours and Howard's looks like it's very spacious and very clean. That should give you a hint what mine looks like.
And mine also, Phil, don't feel bad.
Mine isn't very big, so it doesn't take much for it to look like it's pandemonium.
Brandon,
Well,
I
I've
kind of
got-
like
we've
that.
got-
I kind of like the paint theme you have over there with the random colors, and
Yeah, it looks good,
I
doesn't
kind of
it?
like that
I
too.
really like it.
Hey, Lynn,
Wow.
thanks for coming
Hey,
in
guys.
this evening.
Hey, Charles. Hey, guys.
Hey, Lynn.
We were just talking about your ears burning.
No?
Oh, good. Well, we must have not been telling lies.
You usually don't.
Hey, I got some stuff in the mail today.
Yeah,
Yeah, now that the flying season the stunt season is officially over,
it's not
I
over.
ordered me some new lines.
It's
These
not
are those,
over.
brass ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the right time, man.
You're gonna love that. You're gonna love those.
Well, and then I did something else too. Let me get the other ones here.
Oh, that you're really gonna love.
Ooh,
That you're really
Now
gonna
you're
love.
really talking. That's my language.
Now these are 65-pound lines,
Yeah.
and this line is red, and this line, where you can see it,
Is that a Mass Quattro?
is
Yellow.
yellow.
Yeah.
Well, it's not
Yellow,
Max
yeah.
Quattro. It's I decided I didn't want to go Max Quattro right from the beginning. These are guaranteed to be the roundest lines that are made with Spectra.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I'm flying on right now, John, and
Is
it's awesome. Yeah, it's really good.
65-pound.
Yeah. Regular 65-pound. The yellow is what I'm using.
Okay, yeah, I got yellow and I got red. The red's gonna be the down line, the yellow will be the up line.
Perfect.
That ought to work.
And I did
That was
something
what I
else
wanted to do.
because it was available. I got this from Tackle Master. And I kind of wanted to try these little rings.
Huh,
These
those.
90-pound rings.
Those are rings?
The only thing that I can tell you on that, John, I take it you're going to tie your line to that and then put your clevises into that, right?
That's what I was thinking about.
All right. Be sure when you do it, when you tie your line onto that, you make sure where those things are made and they come together and lay over top.
Yeah.
You want your line to be joined on the other side, not where they come together. Because those darn things, some of them are rough, and I lost a big fish because the line. The only thing we could figure, the line looked like it'd been cut, and it was right there where that
good idea
snap
for
ring
me
was.
to get in there with a little abrasive paper or something.
No, I think it'd be a good idea to make sure that you got it on the other side. That's all you got to do. Put it on the other side. From now, ever since when I tie one on, I tie my crankbait directly to one of those that's on my crankbait, and I make sure that where it comes together is against the lure, and I'm tying on the other side. I've never had a problem again.
Okay, now 90 pound for each one of those should be, that's almost twice what the line strength is, and so because you can get them down to where I wouldn't put them on if I was trying to fish for goldfish, but that light. But I really wanted them to be strong, but I like the idea of being able to have that ring there instead of tying it directly to the clip.
Well, I've thought of the same thing, but I'm just a suggestion is don't, metal to metal won't hurt, but those joints. The only thing we could figure out was that cut it somehow. So that's just a word to the wise. I don't want you to lose an airplane over something that I could have warned you about.
No, I don't want to lose it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, these came today and I'm tickled to death. So I'm going to start tying some lines. The control line from Ukraine are 65 foot long, and I think that'll be just about right for that SV11 on that Stalker 66.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 sets made up and been threatening, 3 sets counting the metal set. And I've been threatening to get out in the backyard and pull test them for over a week now and hadn't got out there yet. But hopefully tomorrow I'm going to take them to the field and see if I can get the guys to help me do it. I got the bright idea to put them on a nail against the building and pull it. Nail pulled out of the building. I found out my building I'm trying to get a garage built and the building's going to be replaced. But I didn't know that it was needing replacing quite so quickly.
So you say there wasn't enough termites in there hanging onto that nail?
No,
okay.
I couldn't get the termites to agree to hang on to the nail. So it just chunk come out, and I said, well, I'd try this again sometime, but I'd do it when I got somebody that can hang on to the other end.
Well,
but I'm anxious to find out how much they stretch. I really want to know how much they stretch.
They're supposed to not stretch much at all. Though that
I don't think you do.
I'll
tell you this much.
The fishing line. The fishing line isn't supposed to stretch at all once you get past the first stretch.
Yeah, I didn't find it stretched after I had it pulled once.
Well, you know what our flying lines really are? The metal flying lines that we've been using.
They're
always used.
They're fishing.
It's all it is, shark leader.
Yeah,
it's fishing line too.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, you can't use fishing line for that." Yeah, all we've ever used is fishing line. The clips are made for fishing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's.
Now I gotta look up the modified sturgeon knot, and what's the other one? The Palomar knot, I think it is.
Well,
I use the one that Mike uses. I know it's kind of ugly, but it works really well.
It is a little ugly first few times you tie it, but it's just an overhand knot, and when you come out the top, you take it over the back. Come back in from the same side you went through the first time and come out the end. And if you'll measure that line and put a dot right where you want it to be, and then fold your line back over, and get right where the end of that dot is, that's where the end of your line is going to be.
That's what I works. Do. I know it's a little bit ugly, but like you say, it works excellent every time. I don't have any issues with it.
And I'd rather the double knot, the double line.
Yeah, the double loop. Yeah, double loop.
Just take all you got to do is take the line and double it over.
Oh, okay.
And then double it again. So now you
Uh-huh.
got 4 lines. It comes out and goes back and goes back and goes back again. Take that overhand knot.
Yeah.
And take it, wrap it around, put it back through,
Go
and pull it back
underhand,
through
yeah.
again. Give it a pull. It just, the first time you wrap it through, it comes out the top. Or say it comes out the bottom. If you tuck it through from the front side and it comes out the bottom over here, take it all the way around, and tuck it back through where it comes through the same direction, comes through the loop, the same direction, and pull it out and pull it tight, and it's done. It's so I can understand how Mike got tangled up on the air that night though, because I've tried those suckers for years, and I was showing my wife how simple it is. I messed it up 3 times.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to show and teach someone else.
Yeah. But anyway,
Well, I'll
I
tell you
finally
what,
got them
I highly
tied, finally got
recommend
everything ready.
this Tackle Master for this stuff. I made the order 3 days ago and it's here already.
Yeah, they're real good.
Yeah. I was
Tackle
checking
Masters
the
and
they even sent me in case it was something I didn't want, or whether there's a filled out thing in here to send it back to them, and the box and all that stuff. It's all right there.
The funny thing is, if you send something back, you'll get it back as quick as you'll get your refund back as quick as you got the product. They're really good people. I've
There it
got with
is.
them.
It's Tackle Warehouse.
Yep, that's what I figured. Tackle Warehouse, and they're good people. I've
Yeah,
had
they
an
seem
account
to
with
be.
them for 25 years,
Have
ever
you?
since they opened.
Yeah, they sure took good care of me. I'll use them again in the future. I would like to be able to buy 500-foot rolls or 1,000-foot rolls of the stuff, but this was about $70. So,
Well,
They're-
I'm gonna wait
they're-
and find out if I really like it, and then if I like it, I'll buy a big spool. And if somebody wants them, tell me how much. I mean, what size you want, and I'll make them up. My wife still tells me I'm talking too loud, and I feel like I'm whispering.
Not
But
trying to
anyway.
put a
loud
door
for
on
us.
that room.
I'm gonna have to. But anyway, those lines are great, and if you fish with it, it goes through weeds and all better than anything I've ever used. It just cuts lily pads.
Well,
And if
cool.
you rub your hands over it, I can't figure out what's cutting them. It's smooth.
Well, I
But
like
it
the
works.
thing on there where it said they're the roundest line you can
Yeah.
get. I
Yeah.
like that because some of that stuff, and I think the Quattro Pro is one of them, they're not totally round, they're more oblong.
Well, you just don't want to use spider wire because it's flat wound.
yeah,
Is that what it is?
And flat wound going through the air looks about that big. 'Cause it's sitting spinning back and forth and vibrating, and it looks huge. I
Gotta
tried
be
it one
excess
time.
drag too.
Yeah, I tried it one time on a half A. I thought it was going to drag the airplane out of the ground. I was only using 30 feet of line.
Wow.
So I won't make that mistake.
Yeah, I used 10-pound spider wire on Junior Ringmaster with a 10, and it only weighed 12 ounces, so just 10-pound pull.
Wow.
When you first take off, you see the lines kind of rotating on you. As soon as you get to about 30 or 40 miles an hour, they straighten right out. And like I say, no stretch, no nothing. And I've had them for, 15 years.
Yeah.
Works good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I say this is the small stuff. The big stuff. I went, like saying, I grabbed it at the store and started looking at it at Pro Bass Shop. I got near here. I didn't like it. The 50-pound and 60-pound. I didn't like that stuff.
That's pretty big.
John Tate, sometimes when you're speaking, your camera is a little bit low. We just see about your
Oh, okay, yeah.
eyes. I mean, it's
Yeah,
okay. I
better.
mean, I just wanted you to know that so that
I'm just glad to see the old bugger.
I'm old.
I've been here. I heard
It's the
how sick he's
alternative.
been. Well, I heard how sick he's been, and it's. I'm glad to see him.
Yeah.
that's great.
He's a good one. That rascal's like Train. The stuff he's forgotten is more than I'll ever know about this stuff. John's a world of knowledge, I'm telling you. Especially if you want to build an engine.
Hey guys, I have to catch up on the chat box. Bob Whitley, he says, I think Bob Whitley passed away last year. Yeah, you're right. Bob Whitley, also known as RJ, he passed away.
Bob
last
Whiteley
year.
did.
Now there is another Bob Whitney that's in Florida.
Whitney, that's it. Whitney.
Bob Whitney.
Yeah, so
He's
it's
in
kind of
Florida.
confusing. We have Bob Whitley up in Canada, and Bob Whitney in Florida, and then we had a Bob Whitley who passed away. It's all a mess. Anyways, Marcel Legrand, he says, "Evening, Charles and everyone, or everybody," is what he actually wrote down. Thank you, Marcel. Hope you're doing well.
I still want to see a picture of his twin, but I have a question before I forget it because I meant to ask it for weeks. Has anybody heard from Peter?
I called Peter a couple weeks ago. He said he's going to come in. I was expecting him a week or two ago to come in, so I don't know why he didn't come in. But
Well, if you hear from him, tell him I said hello and would love to see him again.
Yeah, we'll do.
He posted on one of the forums this week, so.
I know he's going through a rough time right now, but I'd still love to hear from him. He's a good fella.
Yeah, we miss him.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what. Besides, I want to see his Saginaw.
Yeah, hopefully he's made some progress on that.
Yeah.
I know Bob, Steve Hines was on talking about the monocoder. He's a pretty good monocoder, it seems like.
Yeah, he's darn good monocoder. He monocodered a set of wheel pants one night, and I said, well, I happen to have a set of those downstairs. I went and tried the same trick. He got me. He beat me.
Work.
Well, it worked, but not near as nice as his was. I mean, I monocoated the booms on a humbug. Bob Barron told me that he didn't monocoat his booms because you couldn't monocoat all those angles. Well, I did it. I stretched the fool out of it, but I did it. But I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
Well, Pete,
I'm impressed on even holding wheel pants and then applying monocoat to them. That sounds challenging in itself, just holding them.
Pete's got a lot more talent than he's letting on. I'm telling you, with that monocoat iron.
Pete's a very good monocoder.
He really is.
It's my opinion that a good monocoder puts as much time and effort into his finish as a good painter does.
Just don't tell.
I think so too.
Yeah, just don't tell Sparky, okay?
Yeah.
Sparky does not have anything against monocoat, but if it's a good finish, if it's done right,
it's a good finish. It's a good finish. I tell you what, there was a fella at the Nationals a few years ago with an old timer, and he got real good points on appearance points. And I don't think anybody realized that was a monocoat job, but it was. I ain't gonna say who, because everybody most of you know him, but plane was monocoated, and I went and looked at it, and I had the the added benefit. I launched for him, and I could feel the edges. And once he landed, I looked at the plane, picked the plane up, carrying it back to the pits. I flipped it up and looked at it. I said, "Well, I'll be son of a gun. I'd have sworn that was paint, but it's monocoat, so it can be done."
That's
but
right.
You got to be very patient.
There's a guy out here. I'm talking about the West Coast. I'm not sure exactly where Lanny Shorts lives, but Lanny Shorts does good monocoating. He lives where, Howard?
Truckee, up by Lake Tahoe.
Oh, okay. His monocoat job, that he had a gypsy, and I thought for the longest time I thought that was painted.
That blue one?
I'm thinking of the red one. I did see the blue one too, but I thought the red one was paint. Not that I didn't think the blue one wasn't, but I
haven't seen the red one, but the blue one was beautiful.
Norm Whittle from around here, is known for his monocoat jobs. If you didn't know any better, you'd swore it was paint.
There was a guy who used to come to VSC. I can't remember his name. I can't even remember the airplane he flew, but every year I was in awe of his airplanes. And he finally told me, he says, "Yeah, people say you can't do a good job of monocoat, but you can." And I just looked at him and went over and picked his airplane up, which I don't go pick people's airplanes up. I've never been one to do that. But I went and picked his airplane up, turned it over and looked everywhere. And I finally saw one edge, one place. That was it.
Wow.
This guy did some beautiful monocoat. I said, "You can monocoat for me anytime."
You'll know you're a good monocoater when you think your own monocoat job's paint.
Yeah, really. That's the truth. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, the guys
My
that can do
theory
it,
on that.
the guys that can do it can do a beautiful job. There was a guy that used to come here to the contest in the fall, and he was in the Navy, but he always took his vacation same time every year.
Harold,
And he had an airplane that was covered in tissue and then monocoated over it. And
Wow.
I'm telling you, that was one gorgeous airplane every year, different airplane every year. Because when he brought it home, he'd bring it home and fly it the contest, and he'd take it to his mom's house, put it in the attic. I thought, the attic? It's going to look like a pretzel. Oh, no, it'll be fine. Okay. But he had some beautiful airplanes. Can't remember the guy's name, but it's some pretty planes.
I know Alan Golf used to have monocoque planes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Miss him too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been fun.
he
I'm
still
gonna have
flying?
to get here, getting late here on the East Coast. See y'all later.
You
All
take
right,
care of
thanks,
yourself,
John
sir.
Tate.
Nice
Thanks for
meeting you,
coming in.
John.
All right, John.
John,
Good
come
night.
back
back
let us see you
again.
again, buddy. Good to
All
see you.
All right.
Very good to see you, John. That rascal knows a lot about motors. I mean, a lot. If Steve had gotten in here, John is the one that did the tater top motor that Steve talks about. And I'm telling you, that is one good running 46. I want one so bad I can't tell you, and I can't get my hands on one. John don't want to do any more of them. And I can understand why, but boy, I'd like to have one.
Tater tot is what again?
It's an OS 46 LA, but John Tate is the one that builds it. That's why he calls it a tater tot. I don't know if John calls it that or just Steve does. But I was at a contest in my 46. I landed it, I flew it. It was hot weather, but it had rained the night before, and there was a big puddle of water on the field. When I landed, I managed to land right in. I thought I was landing on glass, and the water went splashing, and the motor just would not run next round. What had happened, the head got wet, it cooled off too quick and busted the head gasket, busted the seal.
Oh,
Well, this fella loaned me a motor, and it was a tater tot. I've never run an LA 46 that had that kind of power or started that easy. And he told me how much fuel to put in it. I thought, I better put up a practice flight because there is no way this thing can run on 3 ounces of fuel.
right.
But it did. It did.
Wow.
And it flew very, very well. So I want a tater tot. If I ever get a chance to get one, I'm going to buy it. I don't even fly fuel motors that much anymore, but I'll buy a tater tot if I get my hands on it.
Speaking of engines, Phil, have you run or seen that Stalker 66 run? I've never seen one run. I've just heard about them.
I haven't seen one. I'm thinking the same thing. I want to see one, but I have not seen one yet. Tom Dixon, I think, has one on an airplane now.
Well, he doesn't have it
laser.
anymore. I got it.
Oh, okay. Did he get rid of the laser?
Huh?
Did he get rid of his laser?
No. I wanted a 66. He didn't have any in, so he took the one off his airplane because he wanted to get a 74 or 76 Stalker.
76. Yeah.
76. Yeah.
So he's getting a 76. I got his 66. I was going to put it on my SV11, but I don't have it done yet. So he says put a 13.6 prop on it. And
John, whatever Tom says, do exactly what he says.
Exactly.
yeah,
And it'll run like a clock. Tom Dixon is a magician with a motor too.
Yes, he
I know
is.
4 guys. Well, I have known 4 guys that were magicians with motors. 2 of them have passed on, but John Tate and Tom Dixon are amazing.
I agree.
Randy Smith's good too. I'd almost forgot about Randy. I hadn't heard from Randy in a while. That's kind of odd. I hope he's all right.
well, another thing I'm trying to find out is where around here in this area in Utah can I buy straight methanol and that clots synthetic that Tom Dixon likes to use?
Look in your yellow pages if you can still find one. Find anybody or look on the internet and find somebody that sells go-karts, racing go-karts. The go-kart guys still use methanol for fuel, and they have the oil. That's where I get mine. My niece's boyfriend is a big-time go-kart racer. And anytime I need fuel, when they get through with the race, he dumps what's in the tank out of the tank into another can. He just gives it to me. He says they can't run it twice. I've run it. I kept thinking, well, it'll have moisture in it, it'll have problems. I ain't had a problem yet. That 76 fires first flip. And if I can mix it, that's nice because I'm no chemist.
I just buy my methanol from the local hardware store, and I order my clots from SIG.
Hey, that's a good idea. I didn't know SIG had it. That's right.
SIG has it. SIG has clots. I just got a gallon.
SIG's back is my
Those.
point.
I've got an Ace Hardware here that's pretty, but I've never seen methanol.
Well, go see if they've got it. They should have gallons of it right there. It's only like, well, for here, it's like, I don't know, $10 a gallon or something, but sometimes I get it on sale for about $6 Canadian a gallon.
Wow.
If you will look up the go-kart shops, I get it. I got it until they started giving to me the overruns. What I was buying was a 5-gallon bottle. It looks like a water bottle, but it's 5 gallon. It's a 5-gallon bottle, and I was given $26. That's no, I wasn't. 20. Yeah, it was $26, but that was everything, shipping and everything. Time I bought the oil and put in it, and we figured it out. Tom Dixon and I were talking. You're looking at right at $5.30 a gallon.
Yeah,
That's a good price.
You guys will never guess where I get my clots from. Clots.
Probably clots.
I just order from Clots, and they have sales. They have sales every once in a while where you can get free shipping. And last time I got not only free shipping, but I got a quart of bean oil. Bean oil, their
bean oil. Yeah.
So I got the Clot synthetic, and I got the straight castor, the bean oil, the racing castor, and it was
pretty neat.
Yeah, so check out.
I've never
Clots.
tried any of that. I know Randy used to have some stuff that you added to your fuel.
What is that, Lynn? I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was, but
methyl hydrate, solvable methyl hydrate, and I pay $10.99 a bottle here in Canada, and if I get it on sale, I get it for about $6.
Huh.
Well, that's a good idea.
Now, what is that? Is that
Excuse
methanol?
me.
Yeah.
Randy's stuff was Arrow 1.
Methyl.
Yeah.
Methyl hydrate.
It's
Methyl
stump.
hydrate, and that's methanol.
It's
Yeah,
stump,
same
but you
thing.
could
It's the same thing. Okay.
you could run the motor. You could run the motor with regular fuel in it. Let it cool. Let it cool off. Put it back in the air with a tank full of that had that stuff in it, and the motor just sounded happier. And when it landed, if you're a nut like me that carries a heat probe to check the head temperature when you land, it'd be 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
So I'm just, if I could still get it, I'd get it. I had to call Randy and see if he still got it.
It's crazy expensive for a gallon, man.
I
I
don't doubt that.
I think a quart is like $30.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah, but you only use an ounce or
Couple ounce, yeah, ounce or two.
Oh, you're talking about the oil.
yeah, it's an oil additive that Randy sold. You put that in your PAs and you'll never wear one out.
Oh, okay.
That
You guys, let me
stuff
interrupt
just-
you guys for a second. I want to have our guests say something. Mr. Hawkins, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. I know you're muted right now, but just unmute your mic.
Which Hawkins?
I have a D. Hawkins in the room. Down in the lower left corner of the screen, you should be able to see the microphone. Click on that and then it'll enable it. You'll get it. I'm sure you'll get it. But when you get it, go ahead and speak up when you get it.
If you're on an Apple, just tap the screen Just tap the screen and it'll come up, and then it'll appear, and then you can tap it, and it'll come up.
There you
Okay, there
go.
I found it.
All right.
Yeah, hi, my name is Daryl Hawkins. Just
Ooh, look over your shoulder. That's neat.
getting back into the hobby. Gotta make it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got a
Well, what is
kit in
that?
process.
Looks like a twister plan.
It's
It's
a
a-
twister.
Oh,
It's a toy
fantastic,
airplane.
Daryl. Well,
That's all
thanks
that
for
matters.
coming in, Daryl. Appreciate it.
It's a great plane to get back in you with it.
Yeah,
right.
this is my first build in over 40 years. So
What
Good
kind of power are you
choice.
gonna use for it?
You'll
That
be
is a good
surprised.
choice.
You haven't really forgot that much.
Hey, everybody shut up and let the guy talk and introduce himself, man. Let him talk for 1 minute without anybody interrupting him.
Well, I don't know if I can do
Let him
that.
tell us where he's from, what he's building, when he flew. Let's get a little background here. Let the guy talk.
Okay, I'm in Columbia, Missouri, and
I know where that is.
back over about a year ago, cleaning out my parents' house to move them here to Columbia from the St. Louis area. And one of the last things I did was take a peek up in the attic and found a old control line slow combat plane I had. And it originally had a KMB 35 on it. That engine was locked up beyond all belief. So I got online and picked up a KMB 28, not knowing much, but I thought, okay, it was inexpensive. Give it a go. Got the plane back up in the air. In the process, I ended up joining the local radio control club, so I'd have a place to legally fly the plane. And fortunate for me, the flying grounds or the field is about 4 minutes from my house here. So,
Oh, that is great.
Oh,
That's
Wow.
great.
4 minutes.
yes.
do you
a
know
long
my
drive,
old
man.
buddy Dan McEntee?
Who's that?
Dan McEntee,
No.
St. Louis, you said?
Yeah, I grew up in the St. Louis area, but back, that was teenage years before the driver's license.
We lost you there.
And we just go out and fly. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Wife coming in, say hi.
Yeah, let's see what he's doing on here.
All right.
Oh, hello, y'all. Carry on.
That's awesome.
Somebody like this who needs hair.
Oh Lordy.
Yeah, so I've got the pretty much the ribs and all that are done on the wing. Just shaped the leading edge this evening.
Good. That's awesome.
Very good.
That's a hard plane
Yeah,
to beat.
plan on
for-
covering
for
the
a
plane
first
with silk and go.
Oh, silk? You can use silk?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Old school. Very good.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
There was a fellow about 30 years ago from the Midwest, and he started
Wow.
out with a twister, and he went clear up into extra class with a twister,
Yeah.
and he was darn good with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, so I'm
every-
still kind of contemplating, the motor situation on it. I've got the KMB 28, but then I also, when I joined the RC club, I was referred to as the control line guy. But then I did succumb and got a deal on a couple planes and radios and all that. So I do have radio control stuff too. One of the planes has already met its demise.
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you something. I've had some experience running a KMB 28 on a twister, and if you're not overly heavy, a KMB 28 in a high speed, low pitch mode is pretty darn good.
Well, I also have the OS 40 LA off the radio control plane.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That'll work good.
Yeah. Good choice. Either
Yeah, I've
one of
got
them.
the engine muffler and everything right here.
Perfect.
That still looks new.
Yeah. Yeah, so the only question on that is, do I just wire the throttle wide open, or is there a Venturi kit available for that? Or
You can get a Venturi, but you know, you can also wire it open and run it that way as well.
Yeah, whatever either way works.
Okay.
You might not have to just wire it. I mean, I think the carburetor has a screw in there. Just you can turn it in and
Lock it
in
open.
position, and that's
Yeah,
it.
lock it open. That's
Yeah.
right.
There's a guy on eBay who sells a lot of control line Venturis and needle valves. Shitterman, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to get one and get what you need, the easiest way, especially with him right there at it, is to call
Jim.
Jim. Yeah. Oh, I've lost
Jim
it.
Lee.
I can think of Todd Lee, so it'd be Jim Lee. Call Jim Lee or at Jim Lee's Machine Shop or Lee's Machine Shop in Topeka, Kansas, and you can't go wrong. Jim's a great guy, and he will not steer you wrong.
Well, I guess fortunate for me, I do travel for work quite a bit, and Topeka, Kansas is in my stomping grounds.
Perfect.
Yeah. Lee's Machine Shop.
Also, so was Montezuma, Iowa, because I
Sig. Yep.
Just stopped in there and hey, do you have any kits available?
Well, you
and
have
officially, when I was there,
you have to drive 8 miles off the interstate, though.
I'm on 2-lane highways going through Iowa anyway. I hit all the hot spots.
Oh, okay.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, just a couple of days ago, I was up there in Oskaloosa, Iowa,
yeah,
which is about 30 minutes from Montezuma.
I highly recommend that if you're in Kansas City or in Kansas, there close to Jim Lee, you call him in advance and make arrangements to stop and visit with him. You'll get an education.
Okay.
Guarantee it. And a finer fella you won't meet.
No.
Well, I've been getting a little bit of an education going through the forums here and watching some of the videos and all that. Watched a video the other night while I was in the hotel room on covering the wing with silk, and it's like, oh, that didn't look too hard.
That's not bad. It's not too bad.
Just takes a little patience.
That's it. You said you hit the nut on the head right there. All you got to do is make sure you got 3 or 4 coats of clear dope on that wing before you start covering. And then just remember, you do not have to wet silk to put it on that wing.
Yeah.
It all depends on what your goals are. If your goals are just to have fun or something like that, or you might, some people like different things. A lot of things have changed. And if your goal is to go fly quickly, then you probably just want to just monocoat the plane, just seal the wood real good on the fuselage, probably some epoxy coats of something, and call it a day, go and fly, right? Or if you some other people love
control line. I got the slow combat plane I can fly right now, and actually tomorrow looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day, so I'll probably try to get out to the field tomorrow. And
I mean, this is a very general answer.
Yeah,
this is a very general.
But I enjoy the building process, so that's
cool, Daryl. That's good.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I enjoy it too.
You still polishing, Trey?
I am down to 2,000 right now, so I'm kind of. I think I have a 100% confirmation that as of what happened. So this is the correct course of action.
Hey Dan, thanks for coming in. You got Dan Winship in the house.
Hey Dan, good to see you.
His audio is still connecting.
So as you guys know, I had a tough time pulling that part out of the mold.
Yes.
So what happened is that my saving grace is that the mold was very well polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the part that eventually came out, but there was so much pull on the part, then it delaminated some spots and just make it look become unusable, and it broke on one piece of it. So, what I figure out is that there were certain particular molds that got sticky, right? And I already had the wing molds being painted and ready to go to make wings, but I didn't want to take a chance on that. So I took all the paint off the wing molds that I had. So so what I found out is that certain wing molds were just the paint would come out very easily, no issues with that. While others were just a pain in the ass, right? So when I took a closer look at it and I said, wait a second, these are the exact molds that I used in the past to make the previous planes, which were made with a PVA and wax. And then it kind of dawned on me, the fuselage is the same. So I figured out I have 3 wing molds. Two of the wing molds were the brand new wings molds that I made, and they were never used with PVA or wax. And the 3rd wing mold is the one that was repaired, and I actually refinished that one. And I treated again. The 1 wing mold that was kind of sticky, well, guess what? Is the 1 wing mold that was used with wax and PVA in the past. So so long story short, what I think I did is that when I polished the surface for the last time, I actually left the wax in a mold. And when I put the semi-permanent on top of it, the semi-permanent was just kind of sticking, kind of hanging in there. But being on top of the wax, when I painted the first time and I said, I don't like this, and I peeled it off, then you can imagine that all the treatment that I had on top of the mold came off with the tape and everything else. So, so long story short, I think that was my mistake. And every other mold that I was the green molds, the brand new ones, they were treated the same way. They worked perfectly. But it was just except for this other molds. So what I've done is just I started with like 400 grit sandpaper, and I make sure I took everything that's shiny off the mold to the point like was kind of dull color. And so to make sure I took a very thin layer off the top of the mold. In other words, I want to make sure that I take the wax, all the wax out of there, 100% of it. So so right now I'm about 2,000 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna probably repolish all of this stuff over the weekend and retreat them and start over after that. Yes, so this is, for example, the mold from my outboard wing that I
Ooh, look at that, how shiny.
Wow, that's shiny.
So this is, I just took the paint off of it, but this is a brand new mold that was never treated with wax before. And you can see the paint just came just fine. No trace of it, none of no problems, right?
There were no problems, yeah.
That almost hurts, Trey. And last time I saw that, it was covered in paint. It was not covered, but it had all that beautiful paint job on it. Oh, that was a lot of work.
That was a good experience, by the way, because
you learn but from your challenges.
Yeah. So that the problem with the paint job, even though it looks nice, is a pain in the ass to do. Why? It's and several things that were not correct, right? First of all, my stencils were huge. They were very hard to handle. Okay. Yeah. So that's number one problem. And number two, I was very close to fillet area. So if you have the edge of the plane of the paint right next to it, say this is a fillet area and the paint is right next to it. Imagine when you put a stencil and you cover that area. I mean, it wants to droop in, from both sides, and pulls away from the stuff. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not easy to use. So based on that, I'm changing my paint scheme on the plane. And I'm doing something that's more user friendly when it comes to putting stencils and stuff like. So everything is much smaller and smaller pieces and easier to register and easier to put inside. So like for example, on a nose stencil, instead of having something that goes into the kind of like, say I have my party line here. My stencil starts on this part only. I don't have something that's going to blend in on its side and stuff like that. So I just keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
For example, another place would be, see right here, the original one was so close to this area over here, and it was kind of tough to hold in place and just handle and stuff like that. So and this stencil here was going all the way down to the back of the tail and over the rudder and stuff like that. So it was a huge piece that I had to play with it and just make sure that I align it as best as I can. And it was just kind of a pain in the ass, right? So right now I have a stencil for the rudder itself, which is kind of small. Just put it in there, and I can use that. I can just use. It's like a 90-degree angle here, which is very easy to just put it against the corner, slap it in, and it's going to be perfectly registered. I'm going to have another little stencil over here, but again, I have these two edges that are perfect. And then off of this stencil here, I can put the one that goes around the fuselage on the side. And so because all of those stencils are kind of, rectangular pieces, right? They're easier to put next to each other when you cut them. More compact. Everything is just nicer and easier. So when I do the stencil, it should be easy. On the wing, I have like one stencil is the triangle, and the other one is the flat bar that goes over there. So I don't have to hold it and try to maneuver this huge piece that has like a corner like that wants to droop over. So when you come down and try to put it down on top of the wing, I mean, everything just goes nuts. So so I kind of complicate it a little bit, but try to simplify and make my life easier.
Yeah, very good.
And that's that. But the paint and the mold works. Everything works fine, except for that little something that I didn't know about, and live and learn.
You learn from
Live and learn.
Yeah. Tryon, I was looking at one of our videos. I don't remember which one it was, but there was a comment, and I don't think this was a criticism. It was just a comment. The guy said that he uses water instead of air to get the mold to release, to get the part to separate from the mold.
Okay, how is he using the water?
He didn't elaborate. He just said that instead of using air, he uses water.
He's probably using PVA on a mold, which is water soluble. And when you put water in there into the cracks, probably the water dissolves the PVA and takes the part out. But I don't have that. I'm willing to bet that's the case. PVA, it's water-based. So if you put PVA on anything and as a release agent and you want to take it off, you don't like it, for example, just put a water hose on it and just wash it off. That's it. Simple as that.
Okay.
But
yeah, I just thought that I was going to say something when the next time I saw you and pass it on.
I appreciate it.
Sure, you meant it more as a helpful tip.
No. I take tips from everywhere, man. I learn from everything. I don't look down on people because they're new or whatever. Everybody has some ideas that they can add to it, and I'm stealing ideas from everybody all the time. So
I'm
not
stealing ideas too.
Sometimes those little ideas that seem insignificant add up.
They do.
Come up with something that works really well.
Yeah,
they do.
It's not stealing; it's liberating.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm.
I
doing
just
right
borrow
now.
them. I don't even take them. I just borrow them.
Liberating.
Some people are very much like, "Oh, this is my idea. I need credit for it and stuff like that." Nah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can care less for that. I'm not in this to, you know, become rich or anything like that. Just I like to do what I like to do, and sometimes I put up a good fight, and sometimes I live for the fight.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2,000
Well, I
degrees
just want you to
sandpaper
get
right
that.
now.
I want you to get that thing figured out so we can meet up in Georgia or South Carolina, whichever, and go do some flying.
Yeah. I think I'm set right now. It's just like I think I figured it out. I was afraid maybe I didn't diagnose the problem correctly. But the only difference between the molds that really work, like this one, for example, when I took the paint off of it, it just came off easily and no issues, right? While the other ones, the paint got stuck in there and I had to really physically remove it, just sand it off.
Ooh.
Which is no big deal. I mean, just a thin layer of that stuff, and it's not digging into the mold. It's not hurting anything.
But as long as you can have one that pops out, that's definitely desirable.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So right now I'm just dealing with that little issue, So hopefully I solve it. And like you saw the elevator, right?
Yeah.
When I pulled the elevator,
that was beautiful.
There was no issue, right?
None.
There was a mold that was either repolished. One of them was repolished, and the other one was brand new mold. But aluminum, it's aluminum. It's probably easier to take off that, since I refinished the old one as well, because it was kind of dull in colors and it wasn't shiny anymore. I sand it off and then I refinished it, and I refinished both of them. I treated with a semi-permanent, and as you can see, like the parts came out just beautiful. They released very easy. Paint was no big deal. So there was that, The problems I had was one fuselage and then one wing mold, and that one wing mold was the same like the fuselage, same thing. And while the other one was a repaired wing mold, which was refinished as well, like sanded off and completely, and that was fine. So what's the difference between all of them? The only thing is just like these guys had wax in that and PVA. Yeah, and as I said, because the mold is so shiny and so smooth, even though it's very sticky, and I had a hard time pulling the part out. If it was more rigid, had more layers of carbon, stuff like that, you'll probably have come out just fine. But because it builds so light and it's so fragile, relatively fragile, right? But because of that, it's a different story. So, I think I'm glad that I identified the problem correctly, and
I'll tell you what, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how fragile those individual skins are, and then when you put them together, they're so rigid and so so strong. Of course, you put a rib down the center of them, a spar type thing down the center of them, but still, it's just amazing how strong they are and how bloody light they are. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like when you close it and the fibers go in the right direction and provide the strength and the directions that you need, and that's really nice. Yeah, by the way, those elevators that I pulled out last time, I think it's going to be just some spare parts, like the same as the nose that I just made. I think I'm going to keep the nose as a backup for like just spare parts. Sometimes you smoosh the nose in something, and if you need a new one, you can just put that in.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. I would try to have a whole plane sitting there, so you could have a spare, but spare for spare parts. But whatever. I tell you what I'm getting at. I'm working on Howard Rush would be a good one to ask, but because he knows a lot about carbon. But I've been trying to figure out what kind of paint, clear paint, is available that would be UV protected, so we could put a thin coat on it and not have the degradation from sunlight.
Any automotive clear?
Any automotive paint?
Yeah, just shoot it thin.
Okay.
Just shoot it thin.
Okay.
That's all there's to it. That's what I would do. Actually, that's what I'm doing in my molds.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure how much is the finished Some of us do super lightweight to the wood, but I was wondering how much weight do you actually add on an elevator on average for paint?
I don't know. I got a pattern. I did a pattern master size airplane, and in the paint and finishing stages, the whole finishing stage, I just wanted to find out what it would take, and I didn't do near the sanding that Sparky does, but I added 11 ounces. I think I could sand off another ounce easy. So I don't think I mean, Pattern Master is a big airplane. So
I think Wendy was talking about something about
10
like
ounces.
a 7-ounce finish or something like that.
Yeah.
He did a 10 normally, and when he got down light, he was talking 7 to 8. Yeah.
Yes, 7 to 8. Yeah, that's about normal. And I'm wondering how much I add to my plane because I'm not in that range at all. But I'm for sure I'm not. I mean,
you thinking about painting the whole airplane?
Yeah, my lightest elevators were about 32 grams, and these guys are 10 grams more. So I had 20 grams on the elevators. But the old elevators were the same weight, but which are painted afterwards.
Yeah, what I was thinking, I'm thinking about maybe painting the Phoenix, the Revolution Phoenix, the practice airplane, painting it to find out how much paint it would take and what it would actually weigh to paint the plane, the whole airplane, so that it's covered in something that would be UV protected. And
best to do it in a mold. I wouldn't even waste, it's probably going to turn out heavy, and I wouldn't do it. Unless you want to do it maybe on the nose areas, on some places like that to blend in or match the fuselage. That's probably the only thing I would do. Just do the nose to match the fuselage. Don't put weight on the backside. That's why I gave you the elevators, because they're match colors.
I'm not going to do anything with that now. I'm just, since the elevators and the fuselage match, I'm just going to match the front of it up.
Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. And you can easily do the wing, and I still have the colors and the spray colors that I use for the other
I need to get that. I need to get those.
So
I need to match those, because I decided rather than put all that, instead of putting all that ornate stuff on the front end of the fuselage, I think I'm just going to put it back like it was.
Right.
With that shark mouth and all, just it looks nice, but when you really look back and look at the airplane and think about all that, it don't fit. This doesn't fit that airplane.
It has to make sense. If you put a shark mouth on any plane, it better be a warbird of some sort.
Yeah.
I mean, just like paint. Speaking of paint jobs, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Have to have some sense to it. I mean, you don't put a warbird kind of wing and then you put the bright yellow with polka dots on the elevator, because
no,
it just doesn't make any sense, right? Or
I think
it's like, or at least if you have some theme, you just have to follow it through.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to decide to do. Just go ahead and get the nose to match the rest of it and let it rip. It just looks too good.
I have a non-airplane related engineering question for we got any engineers here?
Howard.
So why on a $500 scooter Segway, the one you balance on, the most critical component is the steering arm, right? Why would they use a piece of pot metal to hold the steering arm and the bearings in place as a cover? Like all the bolts are broken off, all the corners are broken off of the cover, but this holds the bearing and the steering arm to this Segway 9-bot. And then why is this piece 1/10 the price of the entire unit? I mean, it's insane,
I think you just answered your own question.
It's insane.
10 of those,
so you can buy the spare parts.
Yeah, they want to make money.
Ridiculous. $50 for that piece. You know, if I did my math right, yeah, $50, $500. Ridiculous. But why would they do something like that on like a load-bearing surface, the part that's going to take the most abuse that they're steering with all the time, and they use a piece of pot metal to cap it
Planned
off and hold the
obsolescence.
bearing?
Think about it,
Planned
Mike. Think
obsolescence.
about it. Think about it for a minute. So if the part breaks on a regular basis, you keep selling those parts. Profit margin.
Yeah.
Well, the parts are bootleg and banded anyway, because you can't get them from Ninebot. You're getting them from China, you know, who's bootlegging them, because you've already voided the warranty by cutting the lithium ion battery off the bottom of the scooter. As soon as you cut the tabs to take the battery off, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You can't ever take it to a dealer again. So I guess that's why they do it. But I don't know. It just seems silly to me to use such a cheap piece of metal on such a key component. I sure hope they don't do that with real airplanes, Howard.
They didn't when I was there, but now maybe they do.
Nice. There's a reason I don't fly in these things.
But to answer your question, this is not an engineering question. This is I'd talk to
It's an
the
economics.
finance.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was surprised flying to Vegas on the cheapest airlines available, Spirit and Frontier. Both airlines had Airbuses, man. You know, they had new airplanes. I really thought I was going to be getting on an old scabbed out DC-10 or 727 or something like that. Spirit and Frontier are flying Airbuses, man. You know, so that was pretty good on a real airplane. I
Mike,
will say that.
What's that airplane behind you? Looks like a Kawasaki.
That's a Hafasaki. Have you not seen that,
Half a
Bill?
Kawasaki.
Have you not seen that? That's Marshall's, man. That's Marshall Busby's. I got that from his estate.
That's
The
cool.
Hafasaki. Well, you can see on the wing here.
Did he
And
ever do a plan to it?
That was Marshall's original Sharpie, and I just made it new again. Hafasaki.
That's pretty cool.
Got
I
rolled
like
up
that.
ladder, right?
I
I got a Norville on there. I got an AME on there now. We haven't flown
That's
it yet.
cool.
But I took the
That's
best AME I had. This one spun up 30,000 or 31,000, I think, on a bladder. So we thought that'd be a good fit. Because I thought he had a Norville in it, but after I got looking at it, I don't know how well you can see this, but you see that slot there behind the motor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a radius slot for a Cyclone or a Profi or a Fora. You know how they have the radial mount?
Yeah.
That's what Marshall had in this. I'm assuming he had a Cyclone because he didn't have any Profis or Foras. Those were after his time. But he had a Cyclone in this thing originally, but we're going to try it with this AME. I mean, you know, Cyclone spins 35. This one spins 31. I think it should be enough to fly it.
Yeah, I would think so.
All I had to do was put some gear on it. I had to make some gear. He had some, you know, takeoff landing gear, and I just bent some out of music wire, put some big wheels.
That's just cool.
On it. But this should be Sam's entry for half a stunt at Brodax next year. Of course, we got.
Oh man,
we
I
got.
don't have a chance no matter what I bring.
I tell you something I've learned. Anybody can win. Anybody can have a bad day.
Well, that's true. Mike knows how to cut down the opportunities for having a bad day, though, by using good equipment. He's figured out
good equipment.
He won't get appearance points for this, and there is appearance points at Brodax for half a stunt.
Oh, I didn't realize there was appearance points.
There is appearance. If you built the model, you get appearance points for it.
Okay.
But you can let another pilot fly the same model. They'll allow two pilots on one model, but the second pilot does not
Doesn't-
qualify for appearance points.
Exactly, because he didn't build it. I get
Right.
it. Yeah.
Sam's gonna get this one. I'm flying the one I made for half a stunt.
Right.
The giant. It's
You
more
got the
like,
Profi on. You got the Profi on yours, don't you?
yeah, it's more like a 15 size model.
Look at the size of the thing. It's more like a 35 size model.
Yeah, it's got a pretty long wingspan, you know, and it's basically kind of a Kiyosaki-esque thing is what I do.
Wow.
with it, you know, but this will have a Profi on it or a Cyclone. It'll be one or the other running
That's
on a
cool.
bladder and flying
Those
on
cool motors.
52-foot lines. But, you know, it's an 049, so it's legal.
Wow.
You
Very
better bring
cool.
your A game, Lynn.
You're not kidding. I better be flying awful well.
I was
Well,
gonna say
I'll tell you
I'm
what,
planning-
Lynn. If you build something, just think about what you need to do for a model to run a Profi or a Cyclone or a Fora on a bladder. Build a model and I'll loan you an engine, man. You know, build something that we can just slap a motor on and we can trim it out during the week. You got all week long to get it figured out.
With it.
So I'd loan you a motor. So
Okay,
there you
well,
go.
I thank you for the offer anyway. I appreciate it. Okay.
You want to be
know,
in the
Mike.
High Zoo Club? Yeah.
What'd you get in your box?
Oh, I got a box from Howard.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. How do I open this thing? Let's see. I love getting presents from Howard, man. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Peter, I
neatest toys.
enjoy that too.
This is a tut.
Let me see here. I don't want to cut it with a knife because I might be shooting myself in the foot there. You know. Oh, I see some vortex generators.
Mm-hmm.
I see another bag of vortex generators. Oh, and Howard's so nice. He always puts right and left on them for you. So if
Wow.
you're really
because
dumb,
otherwise I wouldn't know where to go.
if you're really dumb and you can't look at them and figure it out. So I learned the first time you don't dump both bags out on the table at the same time.
No, that wouldn't be so
No.
good.
No.
Well, but after you know how to look at them, then you're good. Oh my goodness, this looks like some 3D printed fancy mounting hardware
Nice.
for something. It
That
could
is
be
nice.
could be this other thing that's in here. Oh wait, here we go. Oh, he hooked me up. I got 2 sets of templates for the VGs. Very
Wow.
nice. I'll be sure to take more care with these than I did with the last ones, Howard. I don't know where I put those. I swear to God, I don't know how I lost them. Wow, I got 2 bycast units here. Look at that. Fancy.
Wow.
Cool deal.
And I'm pretty sure Howard put these together while we were on the show last Monday. He was down in the shop.
Are those
Building
the
these.
tuts?
Starting
No,
to-
these are not the tuts. These are, well, go ahead, Howard. Tell them what they are since it's your handiwork.
They light lights to tell you what mode you're in and stuff when you use a tut. To tell you
Right.
whether the battery's charged or not too.
So you put these with the LEDs sticking out of the fuselage of your airplane inboard so you can see them.
Yeah.
And then,
How
I've
much
got-
are those, Howard?
Sorry,
oh, you can't afford them, Phil.
they're free.
Two jars of black raspberry jam. That's what it
That's right,
costs.
Black raspberry jam.
I don't know about black raspberry jam, but if you ever get out this way, I'll get you some. Never mind.
Some raspberry
Where-
jam?
We have some. I can get you some black raspberry something else, but it ain't jam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Knock
that's
you on your jam.
handy.
though.
You're talking about shine. And then I'm assuming there's 2 sets of each of these. There's one red, one white, and then the little plywood plate for the lights to pop through.
Yeah.
So they use one red and
That's
one
cool.
white bracket for
Oh.
each.
Red ones are tut mounts.
Oh, the red ones are tut mounts. Oh, okay. So these are the bycast mounts. Okay. All right. Red one. Oh, I got tut mounts too.
Tut
Dang.
mounts.
you should hook up with Tom and, sell the mounts for like an extra $10 a piece or something. And then,
Yeah, I gave him some to pass out with the tuts, but he didn't do it, I guess.
oh, Tom shortchanged me on the.
I think he shortchanged it, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll have to speak to him about that, but anywho, good stuff. Good stuff
Yeah.
for sure.
Great.
That's
Charles,
pretty
are you
cool.
want to wrap up?
Pretty soon, I want to let
Okay.
people know that we're really short on these. We're not getting much chat revenue, and so people, please consider making donations. Not necessarily you guys in here, but I'm talking to our audience. And if you're actually watching the replay, come back during the live broadcast and make a donation. And don't forget to join Sparky's YouTube or Stunthangar's YouTube memberships. That also helps. And we are going to be wrapping this up pretty soon. We have 8 minutes till 9 o'clock.
Just real quick, Charles, I don't want to interrupt you, but Howard, before you get off of here, maybe in the after party, I want to talk to you about props real quick. I don't know if you got my second email.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got some prop stuff I want to talk to you about because I got more information. So
I wanted to hear from Dan Winship.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't said anything.
Is he
Hey,
still
Dan,
there?
are you there, Dan?
He's got his mic muted. Yeah, his mic's muted.
His mic's muted, and so is his video camera.
Yeah.
It's disabled.
Yeah.
But he's probably just enjoying listening to us. I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, me too.
But anyways, I just want to encourage our listening audience to, to consider donating or joining, and don't forget the likes. I mean, if you can't do the donations and the joining, make sure you hit a like. We have as many as 29 viewers, I think. Yeah, 29 viewers, and we have 13 likes. So
I just got mine in.
please like, subscribe, and share, and comments. All those things help the analytics of the Stunthangar channel. Sparky's working really hard. I mean, he's on here 5 days a week. I'm on 2 days a week, and so we're putting up a lot of videos all the time to build this channel. Likes help too. If you can't donate, please like. Now we're up to 14 likes. So thank you for listening. I appreciate that. We got 2 more likes. We're going to be ending the show. And if you're watching this as a replay, please continue to hit the like button. That all helps.
hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
These are the tuts that
You make you big here, Mike. A second.
Tim Westcott designed and Howard
Yeah.
uses, and that Tom Rammel is building and sending
Yeah.
out. Those are the
Yeah,
tuts.
I'll get one before long.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah. From what I understand, the Tots are doing everything that Igor, the other timers don't do. I mean, a lot of those other times don't do.
Yeah.
Like give you like a special way of taking off, a special way to shut down the motor, and stuff like that. Because it's all software mostly, right?
Yeah.
I like the idea that it gives you a burst of speed just before it shuts down. For
Yeah,
guys
so
who
you-
like
so you know
AI,
when-
they need that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that, on that's one of the beefs I had against the timer I'm using right now from Igor. You have no warning is going to shut down or any of the stuff, right? So yeah.
My KR timer, my KR governor, I get it reduces down to 25% of power for a brief, and then it gives me a blast of power to enable my landings. So the KR governor has something to help you land. I don't know if it's long enough or comparison to the what the ones you're talking about, but I did notice that today. I did fly the plane, by the way, Tryon. I don't know if you heard that.
No,
But
I
I flew
didn't.
I flew the SV-11.
Uh-huh.
Put in a 5-minute and 30-second flight today.
Cool.
Get a pattern
How was
in?
that?
I didn't get a pattern in. I just did some maneuvers, mostly loops and wing overs. It was my first time getting a decent flight. I mean, prior to that, I just had 2 1-minute flights, and so this was the first flight. And I was just feeling out the old girl. It was good.
Wow, great. I'm super happy for you, man.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh.
It's been a long time coming. I can't wait to go flying again.
Yeah.
And I'll put in a pattern or most of the pattern.
Yeah.
It's different, and I'm running a pusher prop now, and that seems to be pretty nice.
Yeah, you can use any props you want to, and yeah. And yeah, it's like next time you're gonna go out flying, and you're gonna notice like the same motor run over and over and over again.
Oh, sorry.
That's the beauty of it to me. You know what it's going to do.
Rusty's shoestring. I'd like to get that in here and show. I got Rusty's trusty shoestring.
Yeah, that's a prize to have right there.
And a few other things.
Well, that's an old. That must have been 30 minutes
Somebody-
ago
tonight.
Somebody's watching on YouTube right now. That's been a while.
Yeah, that was like 30 minutes ago at least.
Yeah.
But I'm going to meet Will sometime before Christmas.
Someone has an extra tab on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you come down, let me know because I still didn't get that email 109 in the folder. But just
Not me.
Dan, I had
Not
to
me.
meet you, Dan. It was you, Dan. I just guessed it was you.
Yeah,
But,
it was because every time all that came on, his name came up.
Yeah. So, anyways, Dan, hey, I'd love to hear from you. Just to close the other YouTube window, and that loop will go away. But we're getting ready to end the show, anyways. I'm going to end it now. We're not going away. We're going to have an after party. That's what all we do is just end the stream, and we continue on. We feel a little bit more at liberty to talk about other things, and we usually have a lot of fun in the after party. This is Friday night. Some of us aren't working tomorrow, so sometimes the after party goes. It's like an after party, and that's why I call it that. So, but we had a really good time tonight. I'm glad for John Tate came in, and then Daryl Hawkins. Thank you very much. I can't remember last time we had 2 new people show up. So I appreciate you coming in, Daryl and John Tate. I know he had to bail, but I appreciate that. And
I think John is a longtime lurker watching YouTube and stuff, but this is the first. I think he watches the show and he comments from time to time. But it was good to have
those
him
of
here.
you that are watching or lurkers. Come on in. You don't have to be anything special or any notoriety. You can come on in and hang out. Carl comes in and his microphone, he has a problem, but he still comes in and hangs out and listens to us. And so please consider telling your friends and other people. I know that there are some people that have problems with technology. If you're a member of the forum, just PM me, or maybe anybody else as well. But I'm going to give the invitation. It's PM me, and I will help you get in. And don't worry about if you don't have if you're not good looking. Most of us have perfect faces for radio, and so.
Hey, I have good faces for video.
I'm just saying, whatever the reason is keeping people from coming in, don't let your appearance, don't let your technology, don't let any of that stop you. Come on in. And there's a lot of things that people think that everyone knows, but not everyone knows. And it could be something that could be a difference maker for somebody. So anyways, that being said, I'm going to end the stream, you guys, and we're going to continue into the after party. So we'll be back Monday. Go out there and have some fun.